Happy Wednesday, everybody. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, the 22nd day of November 2017. It is a Wednesday, short week for many people. Tomorrow, Thanksgiving Day. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host, alongside News Director Steve Hare. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday to you, too.
Are you ready for the big day tomorrow?
I'm ready for it. I'm Lynette's sous chef today, as a matter of fact.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Steve got lucky. He married a gourmand. His wife, Lynette, is an incredible cook. I've been over to Steve's house, and they have a room. They literally have a room at his home that has nothing but cookbooks in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Coming
up next on Hoarders.
We all have our little things. I collect albums. Lynette collects cookbooks. We all need to have that little thing.
Oh, yeah. Well, she's always buying new cookbooks. She says, Steve, if I can get one recipe out of one of these books, it's worth the cost.
That's true. That's true.
I benefit. What the heck?
By the way, speaking of Thanksgiving, we're going to be here tomorrow. We're going to be here live. So if you're going to be out and about tomorrow, getting that turkey and the stuffing and everything ready to go,
bring it by here.
Yeah, bring us some food, will you? So we're going to be here on Thanksgiving morning to do a live program. It's not going to be very good. Just a quick heads up on that. It'll be fine. But we want to keep you in the loop on news and sports and weather and everything that you want to do to get your day going. And so even though tomorrow is a holiday, for almost everybody, we're going to be down here working.
And we'll be here Friday morning, too?
Yep, we'll be here Friday morning as well.
A little sleepy, but we'll be here.
We have that all-important pass report. Today is one of the busiest travel days of the year, especially mid to late afternoon when a lot of people hit the road. We'll talk about the passes. It's going to be wet. You're going to be dealing with a lot of rain and a lot of standing water. The flood watch for the mountain passes, Steve, was supposed to expire today. They've extended it through tomorrow at 4 o'clock, and they've actually upped the rain total.
Well, it was pretty steady rainfall yesterday in the valley, wasn't it?
We got, for the record, 0.20 inches of rain, so not quite a quarter of an inch, which was not a record. The record was 0.36 inches of rain. So we didn't set a record yesterday, but it was pretty wet.
Yeah, it was.
And here's an interesting thought. At 9:30 in the morning, we got to 37 degrees, and we stayed there for the rest of the day. Our high yesterday was 37, and it happened at about 10 o'clock in the morning, and it never got warmer.
Well, it's kind of interesting because actually it did get a little warmer overnight, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it actually did. It warmed up. In fact, it's 37 right now outside of our studios, and we're looking at a high today near 50.
Yeah.
So this is that tropical trough of pressure that we talked about, that Pineapple Express coming up from Hawaii. It's going to give us quite a bit of rain and a very warm Thursday, by the way. Forecast details are coming up. My guest today, Art Checker, is back, the broadcasting voice of the Wenatchee Wild. They have a big weekend series coming up. They got tomorrow off. They got Vernon tonight. They're off on Thanksgiving. Chilliwack Friday, Salmon Arm on Saturday. So if you want to get away from the family for a little bit and go check out some hockey, you got 3 chances to do so over the next 4 days. Arch will be in the second half of the show.
Yeah, great deal.
Yeah. And before we go any further, and I don't normally do personal endorsements of products or businesses or goods or services because whenever I do, usually they either have a recall or the business goes out of business. But I want to do a quick shout out to Stan's Merry Mart, because yesterday, early evening, I had to get a bunch of just stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I needed socks, and I needed some stuff for the kitchen. I needed some kind of a little hodgepodge of everything. And I went down to Stan's Merry Mart.
Well, that's what Stan's is.
Yeah, it is.
It is a
I went down to
hodgepodge.
Stan's with my list, and I walked in. I got a little yellow piece of paper with all the stuff I needed. And I don't think I was in Stan's more than 5 seconds. And somebody walked up and said, "What can we do for you?" And I said, this is my list, and this is I don't know really where to go. And the guy just grabbed my list. He goes, "Follows me." And I just followed him with the basket, and he just filled up everything I needed. Said, "There you go." Thanks,
The
Mr.
local
Kuntz.
people, I'll tell you.
Great service.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you very much, Stan's Merry Mart. They took care of you. I had like my own personal shopping guy with me.
How long has Stan's been there?
I want to say that Bob opened the first Stan's shortly after World War II. I want to say that he kind of got started with World War II
So you
surplus
grew up
stuff.
with Stan's Merry Mart.
Oh yeah, it's always been there.
Yeah.
I want to say that, I'm not 100% sure, but I want to say he actually got his business going by buying Army surplus stuff after the war and then selling it at a discount.
For those of you who may not be familiar with Bob Stanley, of
yeah.
course, the Stanley Civic Center in downtown Wenatchee is named after him because he left $1 million to the convention center to build that facility. So yeah.
We talk about Wenatchee success stories. Bob Stanley was certainly one of those.
Absolutely.
No question about it. Let's take you around North Central Washington with our Valley View cameras on an overcast Wednesday morning. Look at, isn't that pretty?
That is nice.
That is so
For a
cool.
cloudy day, that's pretty.
That is pretty. Look at that. Look how low those cloud banks can float around there.
Boy, it was really thick fog this morning over on the east side driving in.
Pegboard?
No, that's
just thick.
It was thick up at the airport too.
Mm-hmm. If you're looking for sunshine, it's going to be taking most of the day off, but it's going to be back on Thursday. Good morning, Wenatchee Valley. Thanks for joining us. Camera 2. Where are we going? Let's find out. That's Waterville. That's the plateau. You can see, kind of almost make out Waterville if you look carefully enough, Steve.
Oh, yeah.
So, and of course, up there you got quite a bit of visibility. It looks to be above the clouds and the fog there at 4,000 feet. It should be. Good morning, Waterville. Thanks for joining us. Waterville, the gateway to Douglas. All right. Camera number 3, downtown Wenatchee.
Not pretty.
On the rainy streets. Boy, I'm guessing, Steve, and this is an educated guess, my guess is grocery stores will be quite busy this afternoon with that last second, oh, we need this or we need that. You might want to plan ahead on that.
There was one large big box store over in East Wenatchee that's just been doing a land office business. It's
yeah,
crazy.
and we're not going to mention the name because we told Costco we wouldn't. And finally, the camera number 4 is, that's back to Billy Goat, which is rapidly becoming my favorite camera. We used this one yesterday. Billy Goat. So
somewhere down there is Pateras, right?
Somewhere down there is Pateras. Somewhere out there is Brewster. Pateras and Brewster didn't go anywhere. They're still there. You just can't see them from the top of Billy Goat Ridge. It is 6 minutes after the hour on this Wednesday. We are broadcasting live here from Studio 7 in downtown Wenatchee. Your weather forecast, courtesy of the National Weather Service, and it looks like this. Going to be cloudy today. Not a lot of rain, Steve. Not looking for much precipitation at all. A little spittle here and there, and much warmer. Yesterday's high 37, today's high 50 degrees. A little bit of light rain, lots of clouds tonight, 42 for the overnight low, very mild. For a gobble day, we're going to start out clouds in the morning, Steve, sun in the afternoon, a little bit of wind, and a high near 55.
Ooh. Now,
I checked the highest temperature, recorded temperature for that date, not necessarily Thanksgiving Day, because Thanksgiving Day moves around, but for November 23rd, the record high is 57. So we're going to be close to a record high on Thanksgiving Day, Thursday. Thursday night, partly cloudy, some residual winds, overnight low of about 37. Friday, partly sunny, no wind, 49. Friday looks good. Nice day to go out and start out your Christmas holiday shopping. And then we go back to spittles of rain Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. You will look very carefully, Steve. There is not a snowflake to be had.
That's okay with me on the valley floor, but I'm sure they'd like to see a little dose of snow up in the mountains.
That ain't going to happen. Snow level is
way up there.
Yeah, between 7,000 and 10,000 feet is the snow level. Your pass report right now, no problems at all, except it's raining. The biggest problem you're going to have is making sure your windshield wipers are working, because they're going to be doing this for your drive over the mountain passes, and standing water, because they've got massive rain coming down. It's also going to be melting the snow.
We could see some high stream levels too, folks,
yeah.
So be careful.
The falls, Snoqualmie Falls, is just roaring.
Oh, I'll bet.
Right now.
Or Carnation? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it is raining on all the major mountain passes. There are no advisories, there are no restrictions. They're not expecting any snow at all. Just lots and lots and lots and lots of rain. Half an inch today, half an inch tonight. Tons of rain on Thanksgiving Day, well over an inch. And then finally on Thursday night, Thanksgiving night, it switches over to snow at the higher passes. Stevens Pass on Thursday night, Steve, is going to get some snow, 3 to 5 inches, not so much on I-90. Just a heads up on there. And from the Washington State Department of Transportation, for eastbound travelers traveling from there to here, the peak travel time will be between about 1 and about 3 this afternoon. They're expecting very heavy traffic over Snoqualmie Pass, driving from the Puget Sound to eastern Washington. Heads up there. Driving from here to there, they're not expecting a great deal of problems.
And of course, for the weekend, the Apple Cup game is being played in Seattle this year.
In Seattle on a Saturday,
yeah,
which is good. I don't like those Friday Apple Cup games.
No.
Not a big fan of that. So again, your biggest problem going to be on the mountain pass today, heavy traffic, all because it's Thanksgiving, and standing water. Areas of standing water are going to be expected, especially on Snoqualmie Pass.
As we were mentioning, there is some fog this morning over on the east side, but not expected to affect the flights out of Pangbourne Airport. I think there's 3 flights daily.
3 flights a day.
So that flight got in last night, so the first flight should be okay getting out. But
not a bad idea.
Hopefully
not a bad idea to call your airline. Yeah, would call your airline. Call Verizon. That's the airline. You know,
Alaska.
Yeah. Hello, Delta. Is my flight out of Pangbourne going to make it? Well, how do we know? We don't fly out of there. It's
that's EAT, by the way.
Yeah, EAT. Yeah. It's still on my luggage, as a matter of fact. I never take the darn things off. 9 minutes after the hour, we got sports, we got birthdays, we got Today in History, we got the Obscure Holiday, we got Arch Ecker talking wild hockey. All of that stuff is coming up in 1 minute. The news with Steve Hare. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on this Thanksgiving Eve on the NCW Life Channel.
Ladies Ladies of the Wenatchee Valley, do you know the secret of receiving the perfect gift for your birthday, anniversary, or Christmas? We have the answer for you at Collins Fashions. Come in and fill out a wish list. You can choose from beautifully crafted jewelry, handbags, and luggage from Brighton, stylish wallets and handbags from Lotus, cozy sweaters from Icelandic, zip fleece from Tommy Bahama, fashions from Joseph Ribkop, and Collins gift cards. Our little elves can contact your loved ones and share your wish list. Complimentary gift wrap and amazing service at Collins Fashions in downtown Wenatchee.
Offers on approved credit. It's time for a sale so big, Leonard Evans only has it once a year. Some call it the Red Hot Clear the Lot sale. At Leonard Evans, we just call it huge. Come pick out any car, truck, or SUV from our inventory with over 150 super clean pre-owned vehicles. Who else makes offers this good? Nobody. That's who. Leonard Evans Used Cars Superstore. Corner of Maple Street at North Wenatchee Avenue in Wenatchee, and always at LeonardEvansCars.com. Leonard Evans, where the name means a great deal.
And now it's time for your local news update with Steve Hare.
Good morning and welcome to this 22nd day of the month. Again, I'm Steve Hare. Here's what's happening around north central Washington in the news. First of all, early morning report of a possible law enforcement situation up in the upper valley of Chelan County. We're receiving right now just some preliminary information of a possible stabbing or a gunshot this morning in the Kashmir area. It was reported to Rivercom Emergency Dispatch around 4:30 this morning in the 7900 block of Steins Hill Road. Chelan County Sheriff's deputies, along with Ballard Ambulance and Kashmir Fire District 6 responded, but that's all we know at this time. Stay tuned. We'll have more information on this later on our Facebook page and on our website at ncwlife.com. Chelan County PUD commissioners are considering establishing new rates for energy-saving LED street lights that could lead to grants to cover the full cost of installation for some small cities. Meanwhile, Andrew Grassell, the Energy Development and Conservation Manager for the district, said changes in the energy charge for LED streetlights would mean savings of about $1.40 per light each month.
We're targeting about $500,000 to $550,000 in funding from the Transportation Improvement Board. That funding source will provide up to 100% of the cost to retrofit streetlights in the cities that are less than 5,000. So Eniat, Kashmir, Leavenworth, Chelan, those areas. And then what we plan to do is use some of this funding along with the PUD incentives to fund the other outlying areas. But that funding is contingent on the streetlight cost reductions to the cities that are being funded.
Meanwhile, the PUD installed test LED streetlights in 5 Wenatchee neighborhoods and received neutral to positive feedback from the residents in those areas. They not only do LED lamps use less power, but studies also show they increase safety and reduce night sky effects. 3 information meetings will be scheduled next month to provide more information, and a hearing on the new rate will be held at the board's first meeting in January. Also, the Port of Chelan County recently unveiled a new property search website. It's called ChooseChelanCounty.com.
Our hope is that every available piece of office, commercial, industrial real estate in the county is listed on it, so someone from within the county or from anywhere in the world can go look and see what's available to fit their needs to bring their business operations to Chelan County.
And again, Craig Larson with the Port says the new website is much more than just a property search tool.
It's got some other great features to it. It's got demographic information, a lot of nice tools that you can use, even if it's a retail. I want to do a coffee shop in Kashmir. You could go in there and punch in the 5-mile radius what the demographics are of any potential site you're looking at. So it's got a lot of functionality. It's not just property search. It's also helping you do a business plan, doing business research for all sorts of things. So we're very excited about it. And again, it helps our efforts to bring more economic activity here to the county.
And again, the name of that new website, if you want to check it out, is ChooseChelanCounty.com. A travel advisory continues today in connection with the removal of hazardous trees in the Upper Valley, the Chihuahua Loop Road area of Chelan County. Now, that work began Tuesday, and the contractor will finish up the project about 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. today from Sumac Lane to Chihuahua River Road. Motorists should expect periodic traffic delays up to 10 minutes possible for today. Community Foundation of NCW has awarded over $216,900 in regional impact grants to 28 nonprofits across north central Washington. Jennifer Dolge, the foundation's Director of Donor Services and Communications, explains how that grant process works.
This was one of our most competitive years for the Regional Impact Grant. We had 60 applicants, and the process for that is our staff and some board members do what we call site visits, and they visit every single organization who has applied for a grant in Chelan, Douglas, and Okanogan counties. So I think they drive all over the region. I think they booked about 700 miles and visited everyone, got to know a little bit more about their grant request, their organization, so that they can make some really thoughtful decisions about who to fund and how much we're able to give each organization.
Now, each of the recipients receives a portion of the request because the total number of applicants exceeded the amount of money the foundation was able to reward this year, or award, I should say. That's where Dole says the newly formed Give NCW crowd source funding works.
Each year we get requests that far exceed what we're able to give in the Regional Impact Grant Award. So a few years ago we were able to come up with Give NCW, which is an opportunity for the nonprofits to continue raising money for their fundraising goal through a crowdfunding campaign that we host. So we've awarded a portion of what their grant request is, and they still need a little bit more to go. So Give NCW allows the public to come in and give $10 as a minimum donation or more to support the great things going on in the region.
Meanwhile, among the 28 nonprofits that received the Regional Impact Grant include the Chelan Douglas Land Trust, Children's Home Society, the American Performing Arts Center, and the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. To donate, just go to their website at the Community Foundation of North Central Washington. Well, Tuesday was delivery day for Thanksgiving gift baskets at Serve Wenatchee Valley. Over the last month, the baskets were decorated and filled with food by local donors, and then it's distributed to families and individuals that are in need around our area. Last week on NCW Life magazine, Jay Seebeck, our host, had Serve Wenatchee Director Tom Neese as his guest to discuss the program and learn more about what it means to live in poverty on the streets of Wenatchee.
We've got 400 baskets that I spoke about here in total, and then we have about 50 baskets that are for smaller families, somewhere between 1, 2, 3, and the Lighthouse Christian Ministries is partnering with us to provide those baskets to our community. So shout out to those folks that are helping to meet that need with us as well. There's about 50. And then we have about 30 baskets that are just families of one, that just singles, and we partner with the Salvation Army with those. So we'll sign them up and then direct them to the Salvation Army to get those baskets. So it's multiple family sizes that we're looking to be able to help and facilitate.
You guys aren't just handing out; you're trying to bring people into the community as well as give back in a way.
Right.
Is that right?
And really, part of poverty that is perhaps not talked about quite as much. We have a tendency to think of poverty in terms of material possessions, money. But really, another side of poverty is the relational capital that families don't have. And one of the ways that I ask this question, I would ask this question of you. If you were short on rent or utilities this month and asked you to put a list of people down that you could go to and ask if you could find help, my guess is that list would be fairly long. Yeah. My list would be fairly long. Mm-hmm. We have folks that come in that have no one. Right. There's no relational capacity to be able to reach out and find someone that could help them at this moment of time. And so when it becomes that level of desperation, then we simply want to be known as a safe place to come. We do an intake and assess the needs that exist in their family, figure out the best ways to be able to facilitate and help them to be able to transition from this momentary crisis into the next phase in their life. And what we do is we add relational capital to their life.
And again, we're going to be handing out, I believe, those gift baskets later today that serve Wenatchee Valley. Also, remember the Salvation Army. They've started their Red Kettle Drive to raise funds for the needy in the Wenatchee Valley. So be watching for the red kettles out in the community That started earlier this week. A former Eastmont graduate on military leave surprised her little brother yesterday by joining him for lunch at Lee Elementary School. Beautiful moment when little brother saw his sister. Here's a picture of them here. Don't have their names, unfortunately. They were not provided to us, except for the pictures from Eastmont School District. But again, just a neat little reunion there for that little student, getting a chance to see his sister, who is an Eastmont High School graduate and now serving in the military. Finally, from the NCW Life, there's nothing to see here file. The big news story in Atlanta, Georgia yesterday was the implosion of the Georgia Dome, the big arena there. The Weather Channel set its cameras up to capture the event when this happened.
Oh, that's funny.
Occupational hazard. I'm sure our camera people here at NCW Live will appreciate that.
Oh,
yeah.
The Metropolitan Atlanta Regional Transit Authority bus drivers having a talking to right now. That's funny. That is absolutely hilarious. All that planning and all that work. And
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
It happens.
it does.
You know.
It's 22 minutes after the hour. Here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. That thing that you see at the bottom of your screen is all the ways you can get a hold of us, and we invite you to get a hold of us. You can message us on our Facebook page. You can go to our website. We're very proud of our website. You can see a lot of great shows on Watch on Demand. You can get up to date with all the news that you need to know. It's a good website. Check it out, ncwlife.com. Facebook us, call us, email us, whatever the case may be. We'd love to hear from you. If you have any story ideas, and we've gotten story tips from you, the viewers, because this is your station. We appreciate it. So get a hold of us.
That
Except
number,
tomorrow. We're not going to be working real hard tomorrow.
That number, 888-NCWL, 888-6295. Put it up on a sticky note on your refrigerator.
Sure, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
That's a great. Or do what I do. You take a Sharpie and you write it backwards on your forehead.
Yeah,
then
you
every
look
time
in the
you look
mirror.
in the mirror, you remember
There it is.
There you go. The news with Grant Olson comes your way at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. Get up to date with everything that's going on in North Central Washington. Grant Olson with news and weather. Eric Granster with sports. We have nice little feature stories. It's a little newscast that we're quite proud of. What are you doing? Don't be playing with Curly's head. This is, yeah, for my three students. This is the only one that survived the attack of my dog. I had these in a drawer and I forgot about them. I had Larry, Moe, and Curly. And
it's a toy, not a tool.
Right, and the dog got to Moe and Larry. Curly made it out, although his ear's a little damaged because of my dog, Stella.
This speaks volumes about our host here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley.
23 minutes after the hour, sports, the obscure holiday. Today in history, birthdays. We're going to talk about the Les Schwab Toy Drive. We've teamed up with our good friends from various media markets. Also, they'll be doing that tonight at the Wenatchee Wild hockey game. Plus, Arch Ecker for the Wenatchee Wild. All coming up. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, live from Studio 7 in downtown Wenatchee. Don't go anywhere.
I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCW Life channel.
I'm Eric Grandstrom with NCW Life Sports.
I'm NCW Life News Director Steve Hare.
Catch us on Local Tel Channel 12.
You can watch us on Charter Channel 19 or stream us live on ncwlife.com.
Follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook.
Where we cover the local high schools, the Wenatchee Wild, and the pro teams out of Seattle.
On Saturday, we have a 90% chance of rain.
Catch it all right here on the NCW Life channel.
Having a relationship with your pediatrician is so important. Feeling that sense of trust, that is priceless. I tell everybody about CVCH. I love it there. When I make an appointment, I don't have to take an entire day off. As a working mom, my life is really busy. Family time is everything. That's what we all work towards. And I feel like CVCH respects that.
25 minutes after the hour, let's get going with sports, and we'll start out with the Les Schwab Prep Scoreboard. From Tuesday in bowling, the Wenatchee Panthers improved to 3-0, a 3-2 win over Eisenhower at Eastmont Lanes yesterday. Eastmont also improved to 3-0 Tuesday. They took care of Moses Lake, also at Eastmont Lanes. The final there was 4-0. The Wildcats and the Panthers each have 3 more matches before they meet up on December 6th. We're going to have our cameras there, and to capture all the action, who knows, maybe both teams will still be undefeated. Both the Eastmont, the defending state champion, Eastmont Wildcats, and the Wenatchee Panther girls bowling teams are 2 of the best in the state. The Wenatchee Wild invites you to get away from all the relatives this Thanksgiving week and take in some hockey. Wenatchee will host Vernon tonight at 6:30. Remember, that's kind of an odd time, but that's the time tonight, 6:30. Chilliwack will be in town Friday at 7, and then Salmon Arm Saturday at 7. The Wild are currently 3rd in the interior division of the BCHL. They got 32 points on the year. That's 6 points behind Vernon and 7 behind Trail in the division. The interior division is the best division of the BCHL. They got some great competition. Our Checker, of course, will be here in just a few minutes to talk about that, preview the weekend series right here on this program. By the way, tonight is Wenatchee World Night with the Wild. And the Wenatchee World turned around and donated their night to the Les Schwab Community Tour Drive. That's kind of nice. So please bring a new unwrapped toy to tonight's game. They'll be glad to accept it. Here's the NCW Life Channel sports broadcast schedule. That's a lot to look at. Just take a look at what you might want to check out this weekend. Of course, tomorrow night is hockey night once again with Call to the Wild and Clark East Corner, followed by West Kelowna at Wenatchee from November 10th. You'll see we got high school volleyball, we got high school soccer, we got high school football. Check out local athletes doing locally cool things all holiday weekend long here on the NCW Life Channel. Don't forget, if you go to our website, you can download our programming guide. Very surprising move yesterday. The Seahawks waived veteran defensive tackle Dwight Freeney. He's gone. He was signed a month ago. I remember Cliff Averill had that bad neck injury. He played 4 games for the Seahawks. Freeney did, made 3 tackles, all of which were sacks. Seattle didn't immediately do anything with the roster, so they're actually 1 player short of the 53-man limit as they get ready to take on San Francisco this weekend. The National Football League Hall of Fame has announced its semifinalists for the classes of 2018. And there is former Seahawk left guard Steve Hutchinson. He's a semifinalist. It's his first year of eligibility. Other first-timers that may make it into the Hall of Fame: Ray Lewis, Brian Urlacher, Rondé Barber, Randy Moss, Richard Seymour. Other notable semifinalists who have been waiting include Terrell Owens, who's not in, Terry Holt, Jimmy Johnson, and Don Coryell, the legendary football coach. At sports at 28 minutes after the hour, live here from Studio 2 in downtown Wenatchee. The obscure holiday of the day today. Today, November 22nd, is Go for a Ride Day. It's a friendly reminder it's oftentimes the trip, not the destination. It could be a motorcycle ride, it could be a sleigh ride, it could be a snowmobile ride, a bicycle ride, a boat ride, a plane ride. Just ride something today. Go for a ride day. And again, it's just about the trip, not the destination. Whatever your means of transportation, just go for a ride. I know a lot of people who just like to go out and just drive around because they find it relaxing. If that's your thing to do, today is the day to do it on November 22nd. It is 28 minutes after the hour. November 22nd, today in history, including one event we think we all know, as I'm going to talk about here shortly. But we'll start out with what happened 61 years ago today, November 22nd, 1956. The games of the 16th Olympiad officially opened in Melbourne, Australia. Of course, Melbourne is in the southern hemisphere, which is why the Summer Olympics didn't start until late November, because they had to wait until it was, summertime in Australia. That's how it worked. It all worked out just fine. There was a lot of people going, how can you have the Summer Olympics in the winter? Well, they pulled it off. That gentleman you see there lighting the Olympic torch, middle distance sensation and Australian legend Ron Clark lit the Olympic torch. And if you see that photo, he's grimacing. He's in pain because he caught himself on fire when he lit the Olympic torch. Yeah, his clothes caught on fire. That's why he looks like he's in pain, because he was. The Olympics of Melbourne opened on this date 61 years ago today. 54 years ago today, President John Fitzgerald Kennedy assassinated. Texas Governor John Connally seriously wounded. Officer J.D. Tippit assassinated. Lee Harvey Oswald, the whole 9 yards. 54 years ago today, the Kennedy assassination. November 22nd, 1963 in Dallas, Texas. 49 years ago today, November 22nd, 1968, that album came out, The Beatles, the White Album. It's 30 songs, 30 songs. It lasts 93 minutes and 35 seconds if you listen to it all the way from beginning to end. This is one of my 9 copies. That's right, I have 9 copies of the White Album. Why do you have 9, they say? Because if I lose one, then I got 8, right? This is one of my many copies of the White Album. This is from the original 1968 issue. The White Album is unique because it had a serial number stamped on it. So every album cover was actually different. My personal copy is number 2,662,498 on my personal serial number copy of the White Album. Copy number 0000001 belonged to Ringo Starr, and it was sold at auction 2 years ago for $790,000. The White Album came out on this date 49 years ago today. It's called simply The Beatles, but everybody refers it as the White Album. And on this date in 1977, this is the 40th year anniversary where British Airways began to fly the Concorde from Heathrow Airport in London to JF Kennedy Airport in New York City. The supersonic Concorde began trips to New York City 40 years ago today. The Concorde was not allowed to fly into the United States until 1977 because the United States Congress banned the Concorde because of the sonic booms. They eventually lifted the ban, and the Concorde began regular service from London to New York City on this date 40 years ago. Let's do some birthdays, shall we? Some historic birthdays for you. Charles de Gaulle, the French general, president, politician, this 18th president of the French Empire, was born in this state in 1890, passed away in 1970 at the age of 1979. All the major leaders of World War II, Stalin, Churchill, Roosevelt, later on Truman, they all hated him. They just couldn't stand de Gaulle. He was just a big egotist. So they never invited him. Churchill and Roosevelt and Stalin never invited him to their big 3 conferences in Potsdam and Casablanca and all the big meetings that they had. They didn't like de Gaulle so much he didn't even invite him. And to make things even worse, de Gaulle didn't like those 3 anyway. Charles de Gaulle was born in this date in 1890. He was born Jacob Cohen on this date in 1921. Rodney Dangerfield passed away in 2004 at the age of 82. He struggled financially for years. At one point, he was a singing waiter until he was fired. He worked as a diver, a professional acrobatic diver. Then he gave up show business to sell aluminum siding, and he said that he was so little known in show business that at the time he quit show business, he was the only one who knew he quit show business. Rodney's big break happened on Sunday, March 5th, 1967, when the Ed Sullivan Show had a last-second cancellation. Rodney Dangerfield was brought on. He made his national television debut, and the rest is history. Rodney Dangerfield, one of my favorite comedians, born in the state in 1921. And the highest paid and highest grossing actress ever, I was stunned when I came across this factoid, Scarlett Johansson was born in the state in 1984. The films that she has filmed have made over $3.6 billion. Scarlett Johansson, not just a pretty face, she takes on challenging roles, born in this state in 1984. 33 minutes after the hour. We mentioned this when we were doing sports. Tonight, if you go to the Wenatchee Wild hockey game, and you should, please bring a new unwrapped toy to the Town Toyota Center tonight. The Les Schwab Community Toy Drive is underway. Every kid in this community in North Central Washington should absolutely have a toy this Christmas, no question about it. So you can donate new unwrapped toys, and you can bring them to any participating business. Here's a quick list. Obviously, Les Schwab, our friends at Les Schwab, stepping up to the plate. Either Les Schwab location, Wenatchee or East Wenatchee. Here at the NCW Live channel, if you want, we have a big box waiting for your toys. Our friends at Country 104.7 KKRV, their offices are right next to Albertsons. Bring them by to the Wenatchee World. Sangster Motors, Columbia Valley Community Health, Works down on Worthing Street by Pybus Market, Hooked on Toys, and at select Wenatchee Wild games, including the Wenatchee Wild games going on this weekend. All right. To learn more about the Les Schwab Community Toy Drive, you can go just search it on Facebook. Go to Facebook and type in Les Schwab Community Toy Drive. Again, the idea is every kid should have at least one, if not many toys under the tree for the holidays. Step up to the plate. We will see you at the Wenatchee Wild hockey game, I hope, tonight or Friday or Saturday with a new unwrapped toy for the kids. Thank you, Les Schwab, and all of our media partners for making it happen. 35 minutes after the hour, everyone is entitled to Mike McDonough's opinion, and then your friend and I, Arch Ecker, talking wild hockey. It's on the way. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on this Thanksgiving Eve on the NCW Live channel.
Merry Maids. Please clean the kitchen, and the cabinets, and the floors, and the chairs. And I wish you could clean the dog. Colin is now feeding himself. Thanks, Megan.
Hi, Megan. No worries. We got it all cleaned up. Let's hope Colin gets past the spaghetti flinging stage soon. Till then, we've got you covered. See you next time. Merry Maids.
This is the NCW Life Community Calendar brought to you by LocalTel. Come be a part of the fabulous holiday lighting ceremony where Pybus Market will turn on their holiday Christmas tree lights Friday, November 24. They flip the on switch at 5:45 p.m. sharp. Live music follows from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Also at Pybus, the American Red Cross is holding a blood drive in the events room November 27 from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. For more information, visit ncwlife.com.
I've been watching Price is Right since I was a little kid.
Price is Right, I'm like freaking out. It's crazy. We're gonna win big!
Now, here it comes. On stage and in person, The Price is Right. Live. All the games, prizes, and excitement. And now, more winners than ever before. You could even win from your seat. Don't miss your chance to come on down at The Price is Right live stage show.
November 30th, Town Toyota Center. Reserve seats on sale now at towntoyotacenter.com.
Family means something in these parts. Family owned and operated means even more. At Rose Tractor, you're buying more than a product. You're buying years of knowledge through multiple generations. It means you can count on Rose for quality products, quality repairs, and folks who stand behind the products they sell. From your job site to your home, to rentals and repairs, to new outdoor power equipment, Rose Tractor is growing with you throughout the years. Rose Tractor, quality brands you can trust year after year.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills. A chill is in the air and it's a perfect time for some old-fashioned comfort food like our amazing Eggs Benedict, chicken fried steak, French dips, soups made from scratch, or fruit pies fresh from the oven. The crowds might be gone, but we're still here for you folks, so bring an appetite and a friend to Blueberry Hills in Manson, where you pick, you sit, you eat, and you visit. Open Wednesday through Sunday from 8 to 3. wildaboutberries.com.
Hey there, Wenatchee. I'm Sean Lee, and I'm inviting you to come down and check out what we're all about at Badger Mountain Brewing.
Great beer, good food, and an endless source of entertainment for the whole family. Our Honey Blonde beer is flying off the shelves at your local grocery store. But I tell you what, it's even better on tap. And while you're here, try our signature Badger sauce with one of our delicious meals. Whether you're in the mood for a wrap, salad, pizza, or nachos, Badger Mountain Brewing has what you're looking for.
This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I had two brothers, one older and one younger, and we always shared a bedroom. And we made a mess. Yes, we did. And I believe me. And my mom, she was pretty strict about us cleaning up. Well, she tried to be anyway. She'd yell at us, and she'd storm around with this butt paddle that she called the Persuader. And sometimes she'd use it. Yeah, okay. But once she got so fed up with us three guys that she said she was going to clean up our room, but she was going to charge us to do so. So one day she cleaned up the room and she left us for the note that said, "Boys, I cleaned up your room and I charged you 5 cents an item." Now remember, this was back in the early 60s. She said, "You boys owe me 85 cents. So we left her $1 and said, "Hey, keep the change, Mom. Keep up the good work." Oh, not a smart move on our parts. Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Join us for Street Talk and Other Stuff with Mike Magnotti on the NCW Life channel. This former police sergeant is plugged into not only the world of the streets, he's an actor and connoisseur of the arts. So join Mike and his guest for, well, Street Talk and Other Stuff. Mondays at 10 a.m., Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 p.m., and Wednesdays at 5:30. It's Street Talk and Other Stuff with Mike Magnotti on the NCW Life channel.
Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house, featuring great family dining in downtown Chelan. We've got burgers, pub fare, and the best barbecue around. Try one of our award-winning sauces made fresh here in-house. So grab the whole gang and come on down. Stormy Mountain Brewing. Beer, barbecue, friends, and beer.
"41 minutes after the hour." I'm always in a good mood when my friend Art Checker drops by and says hi, because we can talk wild hockey and we can have some fun. He is my friend and yours, our regular guest. Without question, you are the most, you have appeared on this show more than anybody else, Arch.
Yeah, well, that's fortuitous.
That's a big word.
It is, and it only cost me 13 cents after taxes.
Once again, this happened last time you were here. There was a snafu on your website, and because you had those like $5 ticket things, that was obviously a mistake. It's happened again. There's something here that says dollar beer and hot dogs. Obviously, your webmaster is not getting the memos. You can't do that, can you?
Oh yeah, not only can you do it, you can have buck of beer and dollar dogs, doo-dah, doo-dah. Yeah, you can. You know what? So I think our producer just had a heart attack back
Poor
there.
Caitlin.
Yeah, she'll make it. So yeah, the thing is, we got these tasty Rolling Rock alcoholic beer beverages for $1 American dollar. Don't try to use those Canadian dollars,
okay?
Because then they'll send you back. You got to use 2 of them or something. And dollar hot dogs, and Pepsi is involved as well with dollar pops. So it's hard to go wrong.
Oh, you kidding me?
Okay, now the thing is, no, it's a 6:30 game.
Right.
Its offer's valid from 6:30 to 6:32. I'm just kidding.
It's the first period, right?
The doors open an hour prior.
Right.
So 5:30, the doors open. And from that point, the dollar beer, dollar dogs, dollar pop, that's in effect. And it'll run through the pregame and through the first period and through the first intermission. So that's a pretty good swath. It's about an hour and a half, almost between an hour and a half, 2 hours. And you can do a lot of damage with buck of beer and dollar dogs.
Doo-dah,
doo-dah. Yeah.
And if that's not reason enough to go to Wenatchee Wild game tonight, the Les Schwab toy drive it's underway. It's been going underway for quite some time. I mentioned this in sports. Bring a new unwrapped toy. And the Wenatchee Wild and the Wenatchee World and Les Schwab and us and everybody will make sure that the kids get them. And that's all this weekend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's cool. So don't forget that. Please don't forget that. All right, before we preview the weekend series, they got games tonight.
Going on.
They're off tomorrow, and then of course they got games on Friday and Saturday. Let's take you back to last weekend. 3-game road trip, 3 games in a row. They came back with 5 points. It was a great road trip. I know they lost the last one to Surrey, but who's kidding who? Taking 2 of 3 on the road and back to back to back it was a nice road trip. It worked good for them.
It's a tough task under any circumstance. Obviously, even when you're at home, it's a tough task. And it sounds bad enough when you say it's 3 games in 3 days, but when you realize, so Friday at 7 p.m. was the first game, and by Sunday at 7 p.m. we'd played all 3 games. So it's 3 games in a span of 48 hours. Oh. And and that wears on you. These kids are in immense physical condition. I mean, they work extremely hard at not only taking care of their bodies on a daily basis, but the recovery process that they go through at the end of games with ice baths and the whole 9 yards there, and being very conscious about the food that they intake. That's all carefully regulated, especially on the road, when you're at home. The guys self-police themselves because they're very committed to what they're doing, and they understand that the food is fuel. So you will very rarely see them, sitting next to me at Sonic, right? These guys are extremely conscientious about what they do and how well they take care of themselves. And even with that, 3 games in 3 games, 48 hours.
Yeah.
Bliss and Clarkey and I and Lee Mendelson, our associate head coach, and even Drew, our trainer, we get home and we're like, we didn't skate a shift, right? But we're like,
You can imagine what the players went through.
But they did extremely well. And part of the best benefit coming out of that, aside from the fact we took 5 of the 6 points, is that they got through it without any injuries. There's always bumps and bruises and whatnot, but no one took any significant injuries. There's nobody that's going to miss any game time because of injuries that happened, and and that's always probably the best part.
We have highlights from the 3-game road trip from last weekend. We'll take you back to a week ago Friday. This was the 17th when they took on Coquitlam, and here's Arch with the highlights he brought along with him. Check it out.
Nathan Iannone jumps up, gains the red, lobs it in deep inside the express zone. On the forecheck was Von Ungern Sternberg. Iannone tried to grab the loose puck, but it'll be collected instead by Haloko, and he'll move it out through center. Poke checked off his blade, though. Iannone finds it, zips it over for Cooper Zek on the left side. Cuts to his left, stop, hits the brakes. Wanted to hold it in, and he does on the left wing board. Sends it deep in front, tip attempt and a score! Murphy Stratton got the redirection. The shot came out of the left corner and camped out just off to the left-hand side of Ham was Murphy Stratton. He tips it in. The Wild are on the board first. They lead it 1-0. Low glove side. Flutters off the glove of Ham. Held in the zone. Centered in front for Vanderbeck. He curls behind the net. Snaps it up to Demon. Demon drifts to the midpoint. Back over to Vanderbeck. Sharply down low on the left side. Snapped across. On the back door there was a shot. Score! And the pass was intended initially for Sasaki, and he struggled to get the shot off. Came back across for Stratton down low, though. And he fires it home for his second of the night, and the Wild lead 2-0. Jasper Weatherby will take the draw as he lines up across from Peterson. And it's Hayden DeLorme who ends up with it for the Express. Loses it and wrap around and a score by Weatherby. Boy, it was mishandled back behind the net by the Express. Weatherby stole it away, stepped out in front, and jammed it underneath the pad of Ham. And the Wild lead by 2 once again. 20th goal of the year for Jasper Weatherby. Down the left side wall for Morton. Back behind the goal line for Weatherby. Now back across for Souter. That shot is deflected into the far corner and played by Weatherby there. Sent down low for Morton. Back across to Weatherby, and he scores! Jasper Weatherby is second of the night, 21st now of the year. 5-on-3 power play goal for the Wild, and they now lead it 4-1. Played by Vanderbeck, who feathers it back down the left wing boards into the corner. Weatherby pressed there by Scott on the end wall. Now to Vanderbeck up front for Zek. Thought about it, waits, drifts across, shot, he scores! Cooper Zek with a shot from the top of the left circle, moving off to the side and just snuck it in just underneath the gloved hand. Cooper Zek makes it 5-1. Time of the goal, 18-18.
So a good way to start the road trip in front of a partial sellout up there at Coquitlam. And that was Friday. And then Saturday they turned around in Langley.
Yeah, and, and it may not, it may come through a little bit on the audio, but I'll tell you what was really great about the game in Langley was the fan bus that came up. And that was a loud, rambunctious crowd. And they fired the guys up. There was no doubt. And Bliss talked about it on Call of the Wild, which, of course, will air here on this channel at 7 p.m. tomorrow night. It's part of our Thursday night hockey, right?
You're good, Art.
I'm so good. Should
and
take the show back over
before
again.
we show that, real quickly, these Rooter buses that are going up to Canada and bringing the Wild fans with them, it's got to be really great for the Wild players to see these people that they know. A lot of them are season ticket holders. They know a lot of these players on a first-name basis. And to be on the road and see those people who they never really see at the Town Toyota Center must be a great boost for the players.
Well, it is. It's huge. And, there's a promotion we do at home at the first minute of the third period. We call it Minute to Win It. And it's sponsored by Domino's. And what happens is if we score a goal in that first 60 seconds of the third period, then everyone in a designated section gets a free pizza. Ooh. So the whole place is roaring for the first minute of the third period. Well, we did that on the road, and the folks in Langley, they were like, what is going on? I mean, the puck drops, and bells are going, and they're all yelling and screaming, and there's the play is just kind of normal, right? They just move, and they're screaming, everybody's wondering what the heck is going on.
Did we get to see that for the highlight package?
I don't think we put, but you'll hear the cowbells and stuff when we score. But anyway, I guess
from a week ago, Saturday the 18th, here's the Wenatchee highlights for the Wenatchee Wild and Langley.
Wenatchee zone off to my left. Blocker side of Park. Bouncing puck batted down by the glove hand of Cooper Zek. And then sent over for Wozniak, and he'll drive it into the near side corner. Chladek pursues in to help out Jared Christie. Christie comes out with it, back up to for Galambus, and then over to Zek. Back to Christie, he's in, his shot gets blocked. Rebound, hacked across, shot score! Jared Christie backhands the rebound home. Daniel Chladek had an opportunity to put it home, and the rebound kicked aside, and Jared Christie able to slam it home. And you can hear the Wenatchee fans making some racket here, well representing here on the road in Langley. 9 minutes, 39 seconds, time of the goal for Jared Christie. Okay. Picks it up over in the far corner for the Rivermen. Bangs it up the wall. Shot blocked. Picked up by Wenatchee. It's a 3-on-2. Here's Weatherby, leaves it for Morton. Morton shot. He scores! Sam Morton, fresh out of the penalty box, blisters it top corner, high on the blocker's side, and the Wild have tied it at 2. Sam Morton says, I'll see your high sticking and raise you a game-tying goal. Time of the tally, 3 minutes and 24 seconds into period number 3. Off that he wanted. Souter waits, spins his shot blocked. Loose in front, backhander, pad save, and it's still alive behind it. Wrap around, save made, second attempt, score! Zach Galambus, his first goal for the Wild, an even strength goal, and it puts the Wild ahead 3-2. .740 time of the goal for Zach Galambus. So a 4-on-4 even strength tally, and it's a 3-2 lead now for the Wenatchee Wild. Into the zone, where it'll be picked up and played by the Rivermen. Long feed, broken up, Souter intercepts, dishes it over to Vanderbeck. He shoots, he scores! With 11 seconds left, A.J. Vanderbeck picks it off and rockets a shot home from the right circle. The Rivermen were trying to get the goalie pulled, could never get it done, and Vanderbeck makes him pay as he snipes from the right circle, a low hard shot, and with 11 seconds left, the Wild complete the comeback. 4-2 is your score. Time of the goal we'll put in the books at 19:49 for A.J. Vanderbeck. But this one's in the books. And the Wenatchee Wild come from behind, shake off the 2-0 deficit, 4 unanswered, and they win it 4-2. In case you're looking ahead, February 3rd, the Langley Rivermen will make their only visit of the year, as the fans here that made the trip up on the fan bus are giving a nice little hearty round of applause to the guys in the blue sweaters.
Nicely done, come from behind victories. So they knocked off Coquitlam on the 17th, they knocked off Langley on the 18th, and then they were just simply worn down, and Surrey got the better part of them on Sunday the 19th. We brought highlights. Why show those, right?
Yeah,
so
we were up 2-0, and it kind of got away from us, sort of ran out of gas, and so it goes.
We're going to take a quick 1-minute break. When we come back, Arch and I are going to preview the weekend series. Vernon tonight, Chilliwack Friday, Salmon Arm on Saturday, Wild Hockey. More in 1 minute. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Hi, I'm Blair from Works, your workout prescription. Have you ever started an exercise program and struggled to keep it going? So what if I told you that with this MyZone device, I could increase your chances of self-motivated exercise adherence by over 200%. Combine that with an exercise prescription specifically for your level of readiness, we'll increase it even more. And that's our new member success system. It's $99. It's exclusively at Works. It includes your MyZone belt. Works, yourworkoutrx.com.
Thursday night, hockey night on the NCW Life channel. It all begins at 7 o'clock with a call of the Wild and Clarkie's Corner. Then it's non-stop hockey action with the voice of the Wild, Arch Ecker. Join us as the Wild battle the rest of the BCHL. Thursday night is hockey night on the NCW Life channel.
And we are back with Art Jecker talking Wild hockey tonight. The Vernon Vipers are in town. They're the team that's directly ahead of us in the standings. The Wenatchee Wild is in third. Vernon is in second. So it's a good chance for them to do a little damage on the standings, isn't it?
Well, you know, every night in this closely contested interior division is not just an opportunity, but it's almost a responsibility. If you want to try to keep up, you know, the division games are obviously the most important. It'll be our fourth time playing Vernon this season, and they've taken 2 of the first 3, so we're trying to kind of even the scales a little bit there. But, you know, that's a club that, you know, last year they were good. They were really good last year, and they pushed the Penticton V's to 7 games in the division finals. And they brought back some pretty good players from that club, and they stocked up by adding a few key players over the offseason from different teams around the league, and they're poised. They're poised to make a run. And then, of course, you know, the resurgence in Trail, they've done the same thing. But, you know, we take a look at Vernon, and it's fun. You know, and people have enjoyed when we've played Penticton in the few short times that they've had an opportunity to see the 2 teams go head-to-head. And playing Vernon is really not terribly dissimilar to playing Penticton because they're a good, fast, skilled, hard-working team. And it sets up for a very entertaining hockey between the 2 clubs. So, and it's happened on a Wednesday night, but I'll tell you what, you know, the Wednesday night before Thanksgiving, historically, I mean, that draws really well, and not just here locally. I mean, everywhere I've been, and whether we've been at home or on the road, because, I mean, you know, Mom's home throwing the turkey in the oven, and it's like, everybody out of the house, beat it, leave me alone. I'm baking pies, I got stuff to do, scram. Or they're saying, you know what, tomorrow, I don't want to mess, I don't want to cook tonight, let's all go down and watch the game. Heck, buck of beer and dollar dogs, we'll feed the whole family for, you know, for just a few bucks, and watch some pretty darn good hockey as well.
Do the guys have tomorrow off entirely? No skate around or anything? Is this Thursday? Is just off? Enjoy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you Friday.
Well, there'll be you know, all I know is what they've done in the past. I don't know specifically what they're doing tomorrow. I know what they did last year, and they just basically they did have a get together to kind of do a little walk and stretch and some kind of team activity just to, you know, for bonding and to get the bodies moving just a little bit. But you know, it's such a taxing weekend physically anyhow, especially coming off the weekend we were just on. You know, rest is almost as important as the stretching and those kind of things that they'll do. But, you know, the thing is, you know, our coaching staff is what they call long in the tooth, right? I mean, they've been around, and they've seen what's worked, and they've seen what hasn't worked. And, you know, Drew Plate, our trainer, I mean, he's well-educated and very passionate. And between them, they'll make the right decisions for the team based on how they are right now. I mean, you can cookie cutter it and say, well, it's always going to be a certain way, but sometimes you have to just take that moment into consideration.
Bliss's track record speaks for itself. The guy knows who needs to be kicked in the rear end and who needs to be patted on the rear end. I think we all know about that. 15 seconds left. Vernon tonight, Thanksgiving tomorrow, Chilliwack Friday, Salmon Arm on Saturday. I will see you up in the Crow's Nest because I'm your cameraman for the next 3 days.
Excellent. Black Friday on Friday, and then Saturday, Cowbell Night. Clang-a-lang-a-lang.
Doo-dah, doo-dah.
No,
we will
doo-dah
see you
on
tomorrow morning.
Night.
Thanks, Arch, buddy. Take care. Bye-bye.
My pleasure.